The International Science Council is the principal body in the world that brings all the active scientific organisations together, both academies and disciplinary bodies. And clearly our primary role is to give science a stronger voice, particularly with policymakers. So the World Science Forum is one of those places which brings scientists together, not to discuss scientific issues, but how to improve our interaction with policymakers, with international organisations, with governments. And clearly the International Science Council is the leading body with the responsibility of taking science to the multilateral system, feel as a key sponsor and partner in the World Science Forum. The message that I think needs to come out of the forum is multiple. The first is the world needs science more than it's ever needed it before. It doesn't matter whether we're dealing with excessive conflict or whether we're dealing with climate change or we're dealing with migration issues or mental health issues or loss of social cohesion. All of those things need science. And policymakers, if they don't use science, more likely to make poorer choices for their societies, irrespective of its state of development or its political structure. And at the moment, I'm really scared that for various reasons, particularly those related to disinformation, trust in the institution of science is falling as it's falling in other institutions of society. We must stop that, because if science is not trusted, societies won't use it to deal with the very challenges they have. And the other message that I'm trying to get across is science is the only universal language we have. And therefore, science has a key role to play in reducing tensions in the world. And that's what we're trying to do through the International Science Council. And obviously the World Science Forum is one of the places we have these discussions. First of all, the science community needs to work much closer together. It's still competing between organisations, between disciplines for attention. That's what I'm trying to do, is get a more integrated feeling that if we don't all sing the same song together and in a coordinated way, we won't be heard. The mission of the International Science Council is to be the global voice of science. We all have to shout together if the voice is to be heard. And secondly, there's an urgency. The world is in a terrible state. There's challenges ahead. There's too much short-term thinking, not enough long-term thinking, and we need to get the urgency of action across. It can't wait. There's too many things that are piling up to make this so-called polycrisis, and we just must get beyond that. Too much of decision-making does not have science at the table. We've got to change that. Yes, science does not have all the answers, and we must acknowledge that science does not have all the answers. But without science to give the basic information of what we know and what we don't know, communities, societies, governments, the multilateral system cannot make the right kind of choices. Because if you don't have the evidence, how do you know which road to go down?